Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Monarchs of Wrestling proudly bring to you your man, Cool McCain, the crazy guy, the playmaker. And we are your Monarchs of Wrestling.
Crazy
Here
guy.
for another episode.
We're not
Good people or
crazy
bad,
guy.
I'm going to let y'all decide. But all I want to say, interesting weekend in the world of professional wrestling. I decided to give AEW a little love in the background. I ain't really been getting no love lately, so give me a little love in the background tonight. Well, it was either the crazy guy or the BA. So I figured you'd rather be a crazy guy or the BA. So that's what I went with. Got to stick to the script. So.
I was wondering what the other option was.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So
Yes.
should be some interesting insight tonight's show. We got some things that happened in AEW. I'm pretty sure my co-host is going to talk about. WWE had an interesting week, good and bad. That's going to be interesting to look forward to in that regard as well. So, but before we continue, thank you for watching on the Real Play Callers YouTube channel. Thank you for watching on the Playmakers Network YouTube channel. And are we live on a radio station, sir? So we are live on the Real Ross Radio. So we thank you for listening to us on the radio as well.
We are
and
not,
by
sir.
the way, oh, we're not? Okay. You double checked, didn't you?
No, sir.
But if you're watching on the Real Play Callers YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you're watching on the Playmakers Network YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You get all the sport content that you get from the two of us.
And then go to each other and do the same thing.
And go. So.
And while you're doing that, go ahead and go to Eagles Elite Podcast and get on there because about to drop some shorts about what's going on with their team. Since we're taking a break from the full show, we're going to be hitting y'all with some shorts. First comment of the night, Ed Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Happy Monday. What's up, everyone? What's up, Daniel Berry, man? Appreciate you tuning as always.
So, Mr. McCain, are we going to normal rap this week, or are we changing it up? How you feeling?
You tell me what you want to do, sir. You let me know what you want to do.
Start with TNA.
All right, that's how you feeling. That's what we're gonna do. All right, so TNA had an interesting week this week. Y'all got to bear with me. This cold weather's tearing me up a little bit, so you know what I'm saying. Bear with me. I'm good. Just you know how I be. So we'll go over some of the results. There wasn't anything major that happened besides the system segment and what happened with Alicia Edwards. So we can just lead off with that. So the system came out during the show. This is Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, Bear Bronson, and Cedric Alexander, the new look system, the rebooted system. They addressed their actions. They talked about how Moose used to be a great champion, but now he's just a selfish prick. And how JDC only joined the group to ride their coattails, so they wanted to make sure they got rid of both of them. It's the only way you could really go what they're doing with the whole angle, so I ain't mad at it or anything like that. We found out who won Feast or Fire, right? So the 4 participants were Trey Miguel, Eddie Edwards, Eric Young, and Steve Macklin. So your guy got it wrong. I was looking at a results list, and it looked as if Eric Young was the one that got fired. But in all actuality, that is not true. Steve Macklin is the one that got fired. Eric Young won the X Division title briefcase. Trey Miguel won the international title briefcase. And Eddie Edwards, ironically, let me say that again. Eddie Edwards, ironically, won the world title briefcase. Seems like he's going to be one other, not the new leader of the system. So, no, the new guys are not going to come in the league. He's the biggest name left. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Hometown Man had a match against Stax for the Intercontinental title. Stax cheated and won again. Stax storyline girlfriend, Ariana Grace, said she's made up with her father, and that if he continues to only be able to cheat to win, then she's going to be done with him. We'll see how that plays out. We had Elena Black make her TNA debut. Looked actually really good in a match with Ruthie J that she won. One thing we know, you always win your first match.
Nice to see Elena Black back in wrestling.
Well, and for those of you who might be like, who is Elena Black? That is Cora Jade. Non-WWE name. Or like Key likes to say, non-slave name. Rich Swann defeated AJ Francis in a no-holds-barred match. And then Nick Namath won against BDE with his move that they call the Danger Zone in AEW. In TNA. So, a solid show for TNA because you want to put on solid shows. But again, as I guess last week Chris was saying, these shows are not wowing you on their new network, right? It's like they're I don't know if they're slow building, they're trying to see what they can and can't get away with or what's going on, but these shows are not impressing you. You're not saying, but these shows are not making you feel like these are really good shows. They're solid at best.
They're not making you say, I need to come back and watch next week.
If you like the brand, you'll come back and watch. But if you're brand new and you've never watched TNA before, what they're putting out is not going to make you say, man, I got to see that next week. If you happen to be flipping through the channels you see, you may watch. But they've got to do a better job of sucking people in, I should say. And they've got to do a better job of just consistency on how the show is put together. There was a couple of segments that I really didn't go over just because relevancy points. But TNA is not terrible, but right now I would say it's the one that kind of, it's on A&E now. So, you got one of those things where it's like, okay, we're on a different channel, so we got to figure out what we can do, what we can't do. Maybe that's what the situation is. But you know how it goes, man. You know how it goes.
Cable network television.
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much TNA talk. You want to go ahead and slide in the NXT now, sir?
To NXT, where we go. And we're going to focus on the remaining 2 qualifying matches. First one was Deion Lennox versus Miles Bourne. Deion Lennox got the win. As you know that my co-host said, we need a dark state moment in there. And there go your dark state moment. Deion Lennox is in the 6-man ladder match for the vacant NXT title. My question here, I want to have a discussion here. Why does Miles Bourne lack killer instinct, in your opinion?
It's all about the character, right? The character that he's been given. That's how they have portrayed him. I think it'll be one of those things where it'll be a storyline soon down the road where they'll say like, "Oh, Miles Bourne's got to get, more aggressive if he wants to win." And then we'll see.
They've been doing that. They've been using Ethan Page and Wiki Saints to do that.
Yeah, but they'll have one where it won't be anyone else involved. He'll just be saying to himself like, I've got to get more aggressive. I've got to get tougher. I've got to be a tough guy. And
Ethan Page literally tried to help him win that match too. He gave him the North American Championship to use, and he didn't pull the trigger and
tried to help him win the match.
Deion Lennox took advantage, and he won. I want to like Miles Bourne, man, but you can't keep losing, man. People don't like losers, like winners.
That's true. That is very true, sir.
So that was one of them. As the other match, we saw Keon Carver basically destroy Andre Chase. And I do mean destroy Andre Chase. Even after the match, he continued to destroy Andre Chase.
Was that ever in doubt?
Not in doubt, but I'm talking about after the match. He ain't have to do all that after the match, though. Jeez.
Andre Chase, There's nothing I can say because everything I say is going to sound bad. Let's just say I don't see Andre Chase as a guy who's going to be holding any championship goal unless it's a tag team. Ever.
I can understand that.
Unless they bring back a 205.
That I don't see happening.
Maybe Speed. Because, nobody really cares about those either.
But now, Tuesday, we have this 6-man ladder match. The winner becomes the new NXT champion. Actually, it's not even 6 no more. It's 7 now because the Vanity Project, they decided to open NXT with a beatdown of one Joe Hendry and tried to play it off. And Ava said, if Joe Hendry is cleared, he will be added to the match. So I'm looking forward to Joe Hendry to be a part of this match. So now it's a 7-man ladder match for the vacated NXT title.
Speaking of Ava Rain, there's a little news about her, isn't there, sir?
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Well, I mean, you got the segue right there. So, I mean, like, you just served it up for yourself.
So surprisingly, out of nowhere, Ava's contract expired and she chose not to resign. They offered her an increase and she still declined it. So, Mr. McCain, your thoughts on Ava saying no mas, I'm done?
Well, I think Ava's been silenced to a certain extent by being part of WWE, right? She just got engaged to her girlfriend. So there's that. And, she had some very poignant statements to say about ICE after she decided to be done with WWE. I think she feels more freedom to just be herself. I mean, her mom and dad have so many business ventures that she's not going to be, in a situation where she's longing for money. I think that her time in WWE had just run its course. She didn't seem like she was interested anymore in being an active competitor. And, I can't blame her. Sometimes you just need to freshen things up. And that's basically how she was saying, I want to freshen things up and do something different.
That was very surprising when I saw that. I was like, oh, really? So it makes me wonder, are we going to have a new person in authority in NXT, or where do we go?
You're going to have a new person. So you got to have a authority figure. Yolanda says, hey, guys, what's going on, Yolanda? Yeah, you got to have an authority figure. So that should be addressed tomorrow as well. Who that authority figure? Shannon Baszler's already throwing her name in to be the authority figure.
Shannon Baszler, wow. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting.
No comment.
Shayna Baszler as the authority figure?
Yeah, no comment.
If y'all do go there, y'all gonna have to tell her she can't break arms no more. You know that, right?
I'm sure they'll go another way.
I was gonna say, she's not allowed to break anybody's arms. She's authority.
I'm sure they'll go another way. I don't think Shannon Baszler 2026.
You put the information out there, man. I'm just grabbing to the information.
I'm saying she threw herself in there.
I say you threw the information. I say you threw the information out there.
We are talking about Ava. And you said, did you miss something? You just missed some TNA talk, that's all.
So now the field is set, sir. Who do you believe when Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be holding that NXT championship?
So, that's what I think is going to win.
He's going Joe Hendry. You think it's time for him to win the title?
Yeah, because I feel like he's not long for NXT. So go ahead and get the belt on him since Oba just discarded it. And then that way you can have another guy that you feel pretty strong about carrying the championship. they'll eventually end up back in the hands of Ricky Saints.
That's where I was going. I'm going Ricky Saints. Now I like what they're doing with Keon Carver, making him look like the unstoppable, powerful force that you have to deal with.
He just needs to get his dreads retwisted. Because you can't be featured on TV and your hair looking crazy. Like, you can't be doing that.
But I like they making him the unstoppable force. I like that. But we know most of the time in a lot of matches, how often does the unstoppable force actually win those matches?
Good point. We got a couple of comments here, sir.
Yeah, right.
So, Snowman Multimedia says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Nice hat, Mr. McCain. Playmaker, outstanding job as always." So I want to clarify why I have this hat on and why I have a Chicago White Sox hat, as I am an Atlanta Brave fan. The first hat that I ever got when I was in high school, many moons ago, was a Chicago White Sox hat, because at that time I had the money for multiple hats. So get a black and white hat. I got a big head. I've always had to wear 7 3/4 or 8. So Sox was the only, black and white hat that they had in stock. So it's my first hat. I just went back recently, got one, because kind of wanted to go back and get that feeling from the first hat feeling. So that's why I'm wearing a Chicago White Sox hat. All right, Yolanda says, "I think it's going to be Saints again." Eventually, I believe it's going to be Saints, but I don't think it's going to be him right away. I mean, they could decide to go him right away because they're garbage. Damian Hernandez is in the building.
I haven't seen you around this time in a long time.
Well, if you notice, Damian has a new handle, so I think Damian's probably been in social media jail, which would not surprise us about Damian. But Damian says, "What's up?" Yolanda says he's a roster. Well, I get that, Yolanda, but for product-wise, if you want everyone to accept you and you're going to have dreadlocks, then you're going to have to look better than his do on top. That's just truth. Playback over there laughing. Snowman says, "Understood. I wear a 7 3/4 as well. Great job by you on your programs as well. Appreciate you, sir." And then Damien says, "Cool slowly becoming a Chicago in disguise. Laugh out loud." The only team that Damien that Chicago has that has been good anytime in my lifetime has been the Chicago Bulls. The Sox had maybe 1 year somewhere, and your Bears made a little bit further than my Eagles this year, but let's be honest. Do we expect them to win a championship anytime soon? I'm going to say no. So there would be no need for me to downgrade myself, sir. That's where I'm going with this. Yolanda says, "I agree." And she says he looks terrible. And that's the only thing, Yolanda. I mean, I don't knock like how you want to wear your hair and stuff, but I'm saying, like, if you want to be presented a certain way, and in this particular company you want to be pushed and you're going to have, ethnic hair, you got to have it looking good. That's all I'm saying. Thing you want to add?
Comments from me. No comments from me. Nope, I think we probably can take a quick commercial break so you can get ready for AEW.
Let's get it, shouted. I'm trying to think of where I want to go today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of shows took a hiatus.
Yeah, options. I got one.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Ancient Reef was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Williams stood at 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmaker's blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are in the building. We are back to talk a little AEW. And we'll probably just roll right into WWE after that because, I'm sure Playmaker has a lot to say.
You might have a lot to say.
No.
A lot of things took place over the weekend, man. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Damien says, I had a 45% chance of hope. That's fair, Damien. I just wanted to go ahead and squash that. I didn't want you to have unrealistic hope. Damon says, nice background. Like the new look feels fresh, unlike the crap we see on TV. Laugh out loud. Hey, he's trying to lead me down the path. I'm not going. Woosah.
Your boy's been in the lab. You know what
I'm saying? But yeah, the shows all either have or are getting a complete update. Monarchs is kind of in the middle. We got the new logo. We got the new background. One other piece is going to be new soon. So once we get all that percolating together, it's going to be right tight. But AEW was very interesting. I'm going to go to the most important thing first because that's just how I do. So we had, I always want to call him Jay, but it's not Jay. We had Mark Briscoe, who at the time was the reigning, as Paul Heyman says, and defending AEW TNT champion, which is basically like their men's television champion. He fought El Clone from the Don Callis family. He won the match. After the match, he says he's going to defend the championship again on Collision against anybody that's not a member of the Don Callis family. He's tired of him. He wants a break from them. Lights go out. We see Psycho Killer pop up. I think everybody knows who that was. Tommaso Ciampa comes out to his new music and his new moniker in AEW, which apparently is going to be Psycho Killer. A little interested that they're letting him go with that, but hey, guess it's not offensive at all to the network. It's okay to be Psycho Killer. Just can't say something wrong behind the scenes to somebody or you get fired, but I digress. So we're going to go ahead and bounce over to Collision, where, before we get to Collision, one gentleman the previous TNT champion. Oh my goodness. Why are names just not working for me today? Oh, let me look this up real quick, y'all. But he basically said he's going to, whoever wins this match, he is going to be next in line. Kyle Fletcher. That's it. It came to me. So Kyle Fletcher has the match with whoever wins. So Tommaso Ciampa, of course, wins. So Kyle Fletcher comes out with the most arrogant and rude fake clap. I enjoyed it because I enjoy that type of thing. Most people probably think it's just arrogant and rude. And basically says, I'm next. So we'll be getting Kyle Fletcher versus Tommaso Ciampa. Remember the rule. Remember the rule, guys. In AEW, what happens when you have your first match, playmaker?
Oh, you're definitely winning. Without a shadow of a doubt, you're winning.
Yeah. Damien says, not gonna lie, I didn't recognize Ciampa. He looked like somebody's grandpa trying to be young again in a Transformer suit. Laugh all out. He did look like Pettimus Prime. I will give you that. That collar just, you got to do something about that collar. I wish he could have his old music from NXT. That fit in perfectly, but of course you can't. WWE wouldn't like to do that. Only AEW lets you take your music and go somewhere else. But also on AEW, besides that, they had an announcement. There are 4 gentlemen that all are tied atop the standings to the AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF. Those men were my man Swerve Strickland, Andrade El Idolo, Hangman Adam Page, and Kenny Omega. So Kenny had a match to start the show. He won his match against Rocky Romero. So next week he's going to face the winner of the match between between Swerve Strickland and Andrade El Idolo. Andrade ended up winning the match. Next week we'll have Kenny Omega and Andrade. And I'm guessing the winner of that match is going to have to face Hangman Adam Page, and whoever wins that match will be the number 1 contender. So took on John Moxley. He's often put up a good fight. And of course he beat him with a Death Rider. Konosuke Takeshita came out after the match in some white hammer pants, and said, I'm coming for you. So basically, the way you're going to hear throughout the show is the Don Callis family is going after every set of championships in AEW.
They're desperate.
Yeah, and I got to admit,
desperate.
It kind of makes sense because at some point, something.
Is Don losing it?
Broke up that little bit.
I said, is Don losing it?
Nah, he just wanted to get some championships on his guys. Nah, I don't think he's losing it. I just think he wants to get some belts on the guys because you got like half the roster and like one person has a belt. So Chris Statlander had a match with Thekla for the AEW Women's World Championship. Of course, Chris Statlander won the match. Don't think anybody's surprised by that. Davis and Doyle went against FTR for the Men's World Tag Team Championships. FTR left with the belts because the Death Riders came to hit Dunkzilla, which is what Mark Davis is calling himself, Dunkzilla, because earlier in the night they jumped on Jon Moxley when he had the in-ring stand with Konosuke Takeshita. So their little payback cost them what possibly could have been a World Tag Team Championship match. And then we had the main event, Andrade El Idolo versus Swerve Strickland. And now they're trying to call him Shane Swerve Strickland. We're not doing that. He's just Swerve Strickland. Just stick with what's been working. No changes. It was a good match. All the matches, of course, were good. We're going to hop back a little bit. So MJF came out. Mark Briscoe came out. I mean, not Mark Briscoe. Sorry. What is the big dude's name? Brody King came out. So they had a little back and forth, and Brody King was like, yeah, I agree with you. I haven't beat anybody. So I sit down with Tony, and we came up with a good idea. We're going to have an AEW qualifier match next week, me against you. If I beat you, I get shot at the championship. MJF was not happy about that. But you know what, Maxwell Jacob Freeman? You run your mouth, you pop off at everybody. At some point, you're going to get got. They had another interview with MJF at the end of the show, which is why I wanted to kind of jump back. He's been running his mouth all show like as normal. And basically, he says Brody King can't beat him. Kenny Omega pops in and tells MJF, one more week, one more win, I'll see you at Revolution. Andrade walks into him and tells him he's coming for the title. And then MJF gets to the car. Heyman slams the door shut and just glares at him. Then MJF opens the door, jumps in, tells the driver to go. And that ends the show. So all three guys that are still, quote unquote, in contention kind of had their little moment with MJF at the end of the show. So something a little different, a little more storytelling than just, let's just have matches. Also, one other thing to point out is now we're getting, as Cole calls them, the spot monkeys back. The Young Bucks are going back to their super kick party mantras. So it's going to be a lot of super kicks, and they're wearing the tie-dye and all that again. So they're going back to what was a bit successful for them.
Gymnastics.
Again. Yeah. Again, no comment. But that's what's happening. And that, sir, will end the AEW part of the show. Would you like to go to a commercial or just go straight into WWE? It's completely up to you. On their decision making, y'all. On the spot, on the moment.
Commercial.
Let's get it. Yes,
Join
sir.
Ryan McCarthy
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
and Dustin Henry
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
as they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Welcome back to Monarchs of Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. A big week in the world of wrestling entertainment. The road to WrestleMania has officially begun because we had the Royal Rumble over in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of different takes feelings, things between the WWE fans and wrestling fans in general when it came to this event in Saudi Arabia. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Mr. McCain, AJ Styles was beaten. Does mean AJ Styles is retired?
So it means AJ Styles is retiring from WWE.
That's what I want to think.
I think
he could miss this retiring period.
Now I think we're going to see one last run in TNA. They need the ratings boost. He is the face that ran the place. One of the most iconic people in the history of TNA. So I would not mind him having a quick, 2 or 3 month stint in TNA, helping him get the ratings, a little excitement up, and having some matches against some guys that may not have been there that he's wanted to have matches against. That's about, to me, that's about what I would expect. I do, obviously he's done with WWE, but I don't think he's quite done all the way yet. Like I said, I think he'll have a couple of matches. He'll probably go out at Bound for Glory for TNA, which is like their big pay-per-view. That'll be a great spot for him to actually, just have his final retirement match. So I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. He doesn't mean as much to WWE as he does to TNA. His final run cannot be in WWE. It has to be in TNA. And with this agreement, it's easy to make that happen. He may just be like, I'm good, but I don't see him wanting to go out losing to Gunther. So I expect him to show up at TNA. May not be right away, maybe a week or two, but expect him to show up at TNA for a quick run with them. They could definitely use the ratings boost.
I was thinking that too, Damon. I was thinking he might go back to New Japan as well.
Well, here's the problem with him going back to New Japan. There's basically no Bullet Club left at all. And that's the main thing that he's known for in New Japan. So, he could go back, but there's no Bullet Club anymore. All right, so Damien says, question, which do y'all think feels more like an ECE show, TNA or AEW? Because I've heard from some people comparing TNA more to ECE than AEW. In my opinion, they're both the same. The only difference is TNA is more, I think there's another comment here, cartoonish. So I'm not going to worry about the ECE show part. I'm just going to say this. I think that AEW is more on the right track now. I think AEW is more of a production. There's more money put into it. You've got guys that are behind helping out that understand the business, but they're not the main decision maker, but they can weigh in and help make decisions. And I think that the TNA is also improving. So this is not TNA is garbage. I just think AEW has more at this moment. If you look roster-wise, there's more stars that you would know from the independents, heck, even from WWE on AEW TV. So there's more people you're going to be able to connect with. The only thing with AEW is they have to make sure they stay with grounded storylines. They've been doing a good job of that the last few months. Just got to see if they can keep it going.
Daniel says, I see AJ going back to New Japan, which wouldn't be a better move than going to AEW. Is the thing. AJ Styles, he's done this year. He's not. So him going to a brand new company won't do him any favors.
Yeah, he's been with New Japan before. So I can see where Damien is coming from. But I think that to make it matter, that TNA run, that's the place. Like a loan out.
Like AJ wants to go out while he's still on top of his game.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna be like everybody else, Want to keep the tires running. No, he wants to be done. He want to go out on top of his game. So that's how that is. But AJ,
He wants to essentially do.
he pretty much doing John Cena. Because John Cena pretty much running on top of his game. John Cena ain't slowing down.
Right. Because you want to be remembered like maybe not top of your game, but close to it. You don't want to be remembered as, Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan.
Stay too long.
Right. Stay way too long. Yeah. So, it makes sense. And if you want to do, a couple of special appearances, you know what I'm saying? You can, but for the most part, you're done. That's kind of where you want to be at because you don't want to get too crazy. So this is going a little bit into the future, but it's all good. Yolanda says, I don't like how they were booing Lash. People hate us so much. In Saudi Arabia, that is correct, ma'am. I'm not going to lie to you. They do not like your color in Saudi Arabia as a female. I'm not going to lie. You could tell. I mean, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to, but no, it happens every year.
And since you jump ahead to the Women's Warrior Rumble match. Well, that got a lot interesting and how things went. Your winner, Liv Morgan of the Judgment Day. That's one thing. Another thing that's the good part. On the bad part, there was no surprising return from one person everybody was looking forward to seeing. And those who don't know what I'm talking about, Bianca Belair did not appear at the Royal Rumble. So that leaves some questions out there. We did get to see Brie Bella Kuma came.
Yay, another Bella. I'm so excited.
Who got the biggest pop of the night?
Well, when you're the only surprise entrant, how can you not? You've seen everybody else in the past couple of days. So how can you not get the biggest pop? Yeah. Are we being serious here?
Tiffany Stratton was the final entrant. She was number 30.
Yeah, you haven't seen her for a while. And plus, people like Tiffy time. But back to Brie. What I want to say about Brie is simply this. Paige should have been there. No one cares that Brie Bella decided to come out. But her husband and her kids. Nobody else cares. We already saw the hotter version of you. So nobody cares. Yolanda says, Happy Black History Month. And Damian responding to his earlier question says, TNA needs to have Chris, I think he's saying Angel and Samoa Joe back for it to be better in my opinion. But with the beef between WWE and AEW, I doubt we get that at all. Well, TNA is separate from AEW. I mean, from WWE. They have a working agreement. But they've hired several guys and gals that have been fired from WWE. So they can do their own thing. But I just don't see Samoa Joe stepping down and going to TNA. I'd rather be an op than be in TNA. If I'm Samoa Joe, because the money's going to be better. Tony Khan got bread for days. Show me the money. Pimping.
But this match did give you some interesting options and storyline wise for the women's side. We got to see Kairi Sane accidentally eliminate Asuka.
That was good.
We got to see Charlotte Flair accidentally eliminate Alexa Bliss. I'm still trying to figure out, was that an actual accident or was that part of the match itself?
I'd be like, if that's an accident, Roman Reigns eliminating Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso was an accident. Stop him, miss.
I'm just asking the way that it looked.
I feel you. I'm just giving my opinion.
This way. We got to see Liv Morgan eliminate Raquel Rodriguez.
There should be a little fallout from that.
As she went on to win the Royal Rumble. But outside Liv Morgan winning, Brie Bella coming back, there was a lot of nose takeaways from certain superstars around the Women's Royal Rumble. So, Kuma King, who was your star of the Women's Royal Rumble?
So, I'm going to have to say my ebony sister, Soul Ruka, with that soul off the ropes.
Soul Snatcher.
That soul snatch off the ropes. Ooh. It was a thing of beauty.
Called JC James before she eliminated JC James, and then she caught Liv Morgan and Tiffany Stratton.
And I like that she's being presented strongly, even though she's still NXT. That's going to make people thirst for her to get on the main roster. So I like that.
Mine is, and Damien put it in the chat already, the bougie booty last legend. Oh, she's the way that they. Oh, she need to be a force on SmackDown.
Well, I mean, I knew you were going to pick her, so I had to find somebody else.
Actually, you picked both the ones that I had in mind.
Well, I mean, we had to give the sister some love. Black History Month.
But yeah, just by his mind, but she deserved it. Last legend was on one, and
I didn't say she didn't deserve it. Some love.
She was on one. And by the way, did anybody check on Io? Because the way that she eliminated Io, I felt bad for Io.
I did not feel bad for Io, but I did not care either. I was like, "Dad, Io, she got you."
That's a rough way to go out.
It was.
But last legend did her thing, man. Yeah. Now, Soul Worker gave me my moments because she gave me some snow snatchers.
Do you remember who we had win last week for the women's?
I had Liv Morgan. Chris had Liv Morgan. Because we all three of us picked Bianca if she returned. She didn't. I think you had somebody else.
Well, I said she wasn't on return, so I picked two other people. I can't remember if Liv Morgan was one of them. It doesn't matter though. Because I didn't feel like she was going to return because I'm telling y'all, they would have already cleared her if she was going to be in that match.
I knew what Kel wanted to win because she was already the number one contender. Which I ain't make no sense for her to be in the match, but they still threw in anyway.
We go back up, but let's go through these comments real quick. So Damien says, Women's Royal Rumble match, more like Power Ranger Royal Rumble match. I saw her watch that match. All I could think of was the Power Ranger theme song playing in the background. Well, Damien, remember they have to cover up when they're in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, they have to cover up like that. So, yeah, they did look like a bunch of Power Rangers, but they had no choice because Paul wants that check. Damien says Raquel should have won the Rumble. My coach has already responded to that. He does say Lash Legend definitely was his MVP. What if it was Adam under the mask? I honestly don't think Adam would have that much fight in him. So I don't think it was him. It's my personal opinion. The guy looked very lithe and moving very lightly, and I don't think Adam Pearce moves like that anymore. Maybe 10 years ago. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just my thoughts.
We ain't got there yet, but we'll get there.
And then Wrestling Daytex says, what y'all think? Well, that's what we think. Yolanda says she did her thing. I'm sure she's talking about One Lash Legend. Damien said I had Raquel or Jordan Grace winning.
I knew Jordan Grace wasn't winning either because she's the one that's beating with Jade Cargill.
Yeah. She even lost a lash in the process. Lash lost a lash. Ironic. Damien says Natty new song sucks, by the way. All of Natty's songs suck. We don't want to hear a remix of a song we heard in the 80s. for 20 that blame years. All right. Yolanda says you pick Rhea. Okay, thank you, ma'am. I pick Rhea. That does sound right. Nah, that sounds right. I always say Mommy's gonna be on top, so I can believe that. Damien said Adam would have torn his ACL running to the ring. I don't necessarily disagree with Damien. Which, if you watch, you know that doesn't happen much, but I definitely don't disagree with him right now.
So AJ Styles retired. Liv Morgan wins the Women's Warrior Rumble with, I think we with most of the wrestling fans agree. So Ruka, Last Legend, don't matter which one you pick. Those two was the brightest shining stars of the Women's Warrior Rumble match.
I rock with it.
For the 12th time in a row, Drew McIntyre beat Sami Zayn.
We told you. I know me and Chris both picked Drew and you picked Sammy.
No, I picked Drew.
No, Chris picked Sammy, didn't
he? Yeah, I picked Drew.
Yeah, my bad. I got that backwards. Yeah, my bad. I got that backwards.
That's why I be asking you. I'll say, so we're going to give Toronto the hometown hero, and in Saudi Arabia, we're going to be mad. I love it.
I know you do, sir. I know you do.
I don't know why you put Sami Zayn in that. Oh, I know why you put Sami Zayn in that spot, but I don't know why you put Sami Zayn in that spot.
It was curious that he wasn't in the Royal Rumble.
From what you say, he beat him to a pulp. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I watched the pro show, so Drew had me laughing. Drew had me laughing. Drew is something.
Drew always. Drew's gonna Drew.
I love it.
I don't have a problem with it.
Speaking of Drew, to the Men's Warrior Rumble match. Well, we knew Braun Breaker was number 2 because Paul Heyman came out on the pre-show and wanted to get face-to-face with Adam Pearce.
Yeah. Definitely a waste of time.
He mad because Braun Breaker was number 2. Yeah, it's a random drawing. You see him post like, man, get out of here. It's a random drawing. Everybody knows it. Question was, who's going to be number 1? I was surprised who was number 1. But I understand.
Who?
The ruler. Obafemi was number 1.
I'm going to give you a Paul Heyman spoiler alert. That's my MVP of the men's. I'm going to get that out the way.
Obafemi was number 1. Braun Breaker was number 2. And all of a sudden, a hoodie man came out and attacked Braun Breaker. Super kick. Curve stomp. Throws him in the ring. Obafemi eliminates him. And within 30 seconds, most people's pick to win the Men's Warrior Rumble. Down and out.
Most,
just that
but
fast.
Not everybody. But not everybody's.
Down and out, just that fast. I wonder how many people lost money off that picking Braun Breaker.
Oh, I'm sure it was quite a bit.
And within 30 seconds, that jump blew up in smokes. Just that fast.
I know who didn't lose any money.
We didn't.
Well, I know I didn't because I got it right.
We all 3 of us got it right.
Did we?
Yes.
I just remember I did. I ain't got time to worry about y'all.
You know I had to get one bias pick in.
That's true. Between you and your boy that came on that episode, y'all joking, boy. Y'all just need to get Tribal Chief tattooed on y'all's chest. Like Pot did Thug, like y'all need to get Tribal Chief tattooed on y'all chest. Y'all love that man.
Tribal Chief from Marines. That's right. The one's in the sky because one Marines behind. But a lot of other things happened in that match, though. First of all, speaking of Roman Reigns, why he did Jay like that?
The goal is to win the match.
No, I'm not saying. I know that. I'm just saying, why you had to do Jay like that? I ain't talking about him eliminating him. I'm talking about him telling him to run it back and then pop that mess out of him.
Hey, that's Jay fault. Jay get caught up in the moment. Like, that's why I say, they got to do my boy better. But maybe they got to embarrass him a little bit first because, that's how Paul has to do.
By the way, we are eating in Saudi Arabia, and Brock Lesnar gets eliminated. That's crazy. I know why they did it. But we couldn't even. LA Knight and Cody Rhodes both eliminated Brock Lesnar, and nobody's talking about Brock Lesnar being eliminated because everybody's eating.
Honestly, nobody cared that Brock Lesnar was in the Royal Rumble. That's why nobody.
Yeah, people ain't know Brock Lesnar was in the Royal Rumble until he called Pat McAfee.
Yeah, that's a spot that could have went to Chris Jericho.
And then everybody figured, oh, he's gonna be in the Rumble. But I can tell you why they did it. Because those of you, I don't know if my co-hosts remember this, but for those of you who don't remember, let's go back to Survivor Series War Games. When we did run it back in the Yeti, who came out next and killed the whole mood? Brock Lesnar.
That would have been one, the Beast.
So they pretty much did a reverse at Warrior Rumble. If it was all that, what they did. Now, what happened with Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu?
I mean, all's fair when we're trying to win, bro.
Roman Reigns taking out family members.
We can't. I can't
All
share
us
this
can't
win.
win. All us can't win. Only one can win.
Right. Like the Highlander, the end, there can only be one.
Now, I'm gonna ask you this because you are the Cody Rhodes fan of the program. How'd you feel about the way Cody Rhodes got eliminated?
I'll be honest with you. I just want him out. Because the thing is, I don't want people to get Cody burnout. So I just wanted him out because I didn't want it to be one of the situations where everybody tired of Cody. And I think we're getting close to that. So I'm just glad he didn't win. Because I know if he won, boy, whew.
Drew McIntyre, Claymore. That's one hell of a way to get eliminated.
Yeah, I'm just glad he got eliminated, honestly. I'm sitting there like, Cody's my guy, but he need to go.
Claymore. And then Drew McIntyre says, I ain't care who won the Royal Rumble except you. Oh, wow.
I mean, you kept the storyline. Him and Drew McIntyre had, 15 matches, and Drew McIntyre finally won one? If I be to do one 15 times, I wouldn't want to fight no more either.
But they're going to fight again.
Of course, but I'm just saying, I can't fault Drew McIntyre for saying, I done fought this dude like 8,000 times. I don't want to fight him no more.
So that was interesting. We had a debut on the men's side. Would you like to do the honors?
So I'm gonna go by his non-slave name. Powerhouse Hobbs. And I'll let Playmaker give y'all a slave name. I don't do the slave names.
From what I heard, it's not really a slave name. That's more of a family name than anything. From what I heard.
Slave name. He just was able to get a slave name that was acceptable. Still a slave name.
Not a slave name that was acceptable. Wars Keys debuted. He had a decent outing. for his first time stepping foot in WWE.
And he walked in looking like he hung out with Liberace, which I was not a fan of.
He had a good debut. Nice debut to start off with. So we had a Royce Keys debut. Some thoughts he might be going down to NXT. That could be
That's
one.
something that makes sense to me. Because you can pair him with Ricky Saints. You automatically got a team. So that makes sense. And then you can put him on a Trick Willie plan. Team with Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints is going to end up coming up. He's going to be by himself. Royce Keys can take this over. Oh, that sounds so terrible. Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys. Downgrade of the year.
No, they call him the Monstar.
Doesn't matter. His name is Royce Keys. That's like saying tough guy. Jimmy Johnson. That just doesn't work.
But Jimmy Johnson was a tough guy, though.
But I didn't say just Jimmy Johnson. I said Jimmy Johnson. Had to put a little bit of extra. I'm not a tough guy on it. You can smell the rock cooking.
Hey, it is what it is.
It's cooking. You smell it.
So we had that. Anything else in the Rumble that was interesting that happened? Oh, I did.
Go ahead.
Before Obafemi made a mistake and took his off Brock Lesnar, them two squaring off was very interesting.
Well, Brock probably only going to be around another 2 months, so I don't think we'll ever get that matchup because Brock will be gone. They'll come back and get retired by the retirer. I'm just going to call him the retirer.
You call him the retired, they call him the career killer.
I don't care about their names for people. A lot of them suck anyway.
You had it from the beginning anyway.
Yeah, I hate the whole concept. Oh, let's find something to do with him since he's not going to be in a championship picture. Oh, let's have him retire a bunch of established veterans, already established guy, instead of giving young guys opportunities. Because that's how you build the young guys up, by never giving them opportunities. Yeah. Great job, Paul.
By the way, the fact that he was the final two was very interesting. Man, do you know what would have happened if he would have won the Royal Rumble after retiring AJ?
They would have had to rush Paul out of the building. So the people start yelling, "Infidel!" They already booed him.
Man, that would have been crazy. What you think of Logan Paul being the final member of the Vision in the Rumble?
Nothing. You had to get Big Bronson Reed out because he's a big boy. And we already know what was going to happen with Austin Theory.
Why is something going on in the Vision? Because I gotta believe Logan Paul ain't gonna be a part of that faction for long.
I think he is.
I could be wrong. I've been around before.
I mean, I think he'll be there as long as this faction exists. I don't know how long that's going to be. Because they're about 1 week away from getting a "this is boring" chance. So there's that. Comments.
You already said Obafemi was your star of the night in the men's, and I can't disagree with that one.
Mm-hmm. Who's yours?
It's Obafemi.
See? I'm glad I picked a different woman because I ain't want to be the same. Damien says, glad to see Ava leaving WWE. Nothing against her, but man, does she suck being a GM. I mean, I don't think she sucked that much. I think she was good for where she was at. She would have been horrible, I feel like, on the main roster. But I feel like for NXT, she was fine. But A lot of people don't share my sentiment. Damien said, glad we got Oba and not Jericho. Since you brought up Jericho, I just want to let everybody know he's actually still under contract with AEW, so there was no way he would have been at the Royal Rumble. You can't have a contract to start from another company unless it's TNA, so he was never going to be there. But it was something that people wanted. All right, Yolanda says, actually, it was a botch on SmackDown. They showed Brian being number one. Yep, that was what originally started it. But, it's whatever. So they switched it up because of that. Oh, they put him from number one to number two. Boy, they really got us, didn't they?
Yeah, what a big difference.
And Damien kind of says the same thing. Speaking of the men's tumble, did y'all see on SmackDown they actually spoiled the Rumble entrance with Brian being number one? They should have just kept it like it was. And Lana said it was when Axiom came out. Damien says Brock being in the Rumble is like Bill not making first ballot Hall of Fame. Who cares? I'm with you, Damien. I'm with you. All these Belichick lovers and glizzy globbers for Belichick. I just want to say this. I know it's a different spot. I just want to say this. Let's not forget this man cheated multiple times. And you never get caught the first time you cheat. So this man's been cheating. So if we're putting cheaters in first ballot, okay. Let's go back to baseball, put Pete Rose in. Let's put all the baseball players that did steroids. If we're just going to put cheaters in the first ballot, let's do it. But let's make it universal. Hey, cheating doesn't matter as long as you have good stats.
I seen that in the auto. I said, I can guarantee you, they did not forget Spygate, Deflategate.
Right.
I ain't saying they're right. I ain't saying they're wrong, but I'm saying those played a part. I know this for a fact.
Look in my eyes. They were right. I'm saying it. Because I don't give a smurf. Yolanda says, I was about to be mad when I saw the Final Four. She says, but they did good.
Yeah, Roman Reigns going with I think Logan Paul and I forgot who the fourth one was.
Royce Keys. Damien says Royce Keys sounds more like a darn car salesman. Laugh out loud. Or a fitness worker at your local fitness connection. Damien also says not having the Lucha Brothers together in the Rumble was stupid. I mean, it's not unless you're going to actually put them together because it wasn't a tag team Rumble. So you didn't really need them both in there at the same time.
Really didn't.
Now, on regular TV, they should be together.
If they was on the same brand.
Because SmackDown's division is not that good.
Yeah, Raw ain't either. Raw ain't much better.
What do you mean? Raw has the greatest tag team of all time.
Outside of them, who really do you believe that can actually beat them for them titles?
The Usos.
Currently.
The Usos, because the greatest team of all time, of course, is the New Day, sir. Get your mind right.
And how you been feeling about the New Day?
I'm only joking. Lana says, so Tom shouldn't be a first ballot either. Abso-freaking-lutely not. Absolutely not. Cheater.
Tom going in first ballot, watch.
Well, I didn't say he was not. He shouldn't be because he's a cheater too.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a voter. And I'm happy not to be a voter.
If I was a voter, I'd tell you right now, neither one of those sons of a biscuit eater would get in the first ballot if I had anything to say about it. Cheating tails. Oh, career numbers this and career numbers that. That's great. But when you're cheating, it's easy to be better than everybody else, ain't it? When you was in school, if you're taking a test and you found out you had all the answers before everybody else did, wouldn't it be easy to be better than everybody else?
Still graduating.
If you were recording your teacher making the test, wouldn't it be easier to be better than everybody else? I should think so. So if that doesn't play in at all, hey, it is what it is, but it should.
I would like to know who didn't vote for Bill Belichick. That would be a very interesting conversation. That would be very fun.
I would upset a lot of people.
Oh, without a doubt. They'll be talking about that all week leading up to the Super Bowl. Forget everything else happening.
I pissed off the local radio. They were talking about it. And I said, so cheaters, we look over, what I say, so cheaters get the same grace that non-cheaters get, huh? They're like, oh, he cheated. Everybody was talking about his cheating. But look at his stats, man. He had 2 careers and blah, blah, blah. How do we know he wasn't cheating with the Giants? We don't. Again, you never get caught cheating when you first cheat. So we don't know how long the cheating was going on, do we? We absolutely do not. So you want to say, oh, he only cheated twice? Prove it. You prove that he only cheated twice. And let's not forget, the guy that came out that was doing the camera work, that came out dry snitch on him, he said he was recording multiple things. He said it was more than one. But you know what? They want to rub it, throw it all under the rug because, again, they're trying to get him in the first ballot. But it didn't work.
No first ballot for you.
They have too much championships that's questionable. How many did they earn? And how many did they cheat to get? That's what's questionable. And if you can't see it from that light, that's fine. But don't try to make the argument to me that it's championships when they cheated to get at least we can confirm at least 3 of them. So if you're cheating to get championships, it's probably 4 or 5 of them. We're cheating to get championships and we're treating it like somebody that don't cheat. No, we're not. I'm not gonna do that.
I know 2 for sure. And that's why the 2 of us
and the Eagles back to back. The dude said it.
It started with the Rams.
The dude said they cheated with the Eagles and the Rams back to back. I mean, not the Rams, the Eagles and the Panthers. The guy that was videoing it said that. And that's why when we went back and played them the second time, we hid in the activity room at the hotel and ran our plays. That's why we beat them, because we didn't let them cheat.
And you know it started with the Rams with the whole Spygate.
Well, I'm just saying, I know
the beginning of the Eva Empire.
I know those 2. The cheaters prosper, though. Don't be mad when other people cheat when you're going to let cheaters prosper. If I know everybody's plays, I can go out and beat some NFL teams. If I know all these signals.
Oh, Lord. Really, Damien?
Hey. He says, put Chauncey in the Hall of Fame since we're putting Bill and Brady in the Hall of Fame.
Chauncey better worry about not going to jail.
Going to jail.
Bringing him up. Yeah, we can talk about Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the Patriots cheating, but what Chauncey is into, that's a whole different avenue.
That's what we call some whole nother other spit. Way into it, yeah. But I get where Damien's coming from. I get where he's coming from. But ladies and gentlemen, Playmaker, I'm gonna let you do the outro tonight. All I'm gonna say is it's never where you start, it's always where you finish. I'm gonna let Playmaker close out tonight.
And now we are officially on the road to WrestleMania. Liv Morgan, Roman Reigns, your Warrior Rumble winners. We'll wait to see who they choose to fight at WrestleMania Las Vegas in 2 months' time. So that should be fun. Enjoy Monday Night Raw. We'll see you right here next week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 on the West Coast for another edition of Monarchs of Wrestling. And remember, Real Player Sports Call, Playmakers Network. Follow both YouTube channels, and we'll catch y'all next week.
That's Real Players. Real Play Callers.